Hello and welcome, race fans, to the track amongst the cornstalks. We are live here with the Numb Thumbs Racing League Arca series here at Iowa, the tricky, just short of 1 mile track that we've seen some excellent races here going on all along here in our broadcasting season. So we are looking forward to a great race here tonight to show for y'all, and we appreciate y'all coming on out. So let's get things started off here tonight with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, these races are only being able to be presented by some great sponsors here, such as Davidson Builders, jumping on board all season long. Thank you guys over there in the northern New Jersey area. We also have newcomer JP Designs and 3D Prints. Go ahead and check them on out, doing button boxes, 3D printing. They even do some trading paints work, and man, oh man, go take them a look, because they do some great work over there and are now our proud title sponsor here for the Numb Thumbs Racing League. Also have Admin Box out there, the premier button box for race control admins, where at the push of a button they can throw yellows, do wave rounds, and so much more. Be sure to go and order your button box here today. We also have Sim Gear Central. Talk about some great button boxes. All the flips, dials, and knobs that you need. Go ahead and go to simgearcentral.com and mention Numb Thumbs Racing League at checkout to get 10% off those amazing button boxes there. So don't miss out on that one. As well as trackdogsracing.com. Get all your Numb Thumbs Racing League and Numb Thumbs Gaming merch over there at that trackdogsracing.com. As proceeds do funnel back here into the league, and just lets people know kind of what you like to wear, and show off the product a little bit wearing it around. And you'll see them here in just a couple of seconds. As well as Track Bar Media, some of the best photography and just kind of video editing involving racing here in iRacing and in real life. Be sure to look on out there for some fantastic quality images and media products over there at Track Bar Media. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I am joined by my two best friends, one of which is Mr. Alan English here, supporting that Numb Thumbs Racing League t-shirt, brought to you by TrackDogsRacing.com. Absolutely fantastic. I have one, but my room's like freezing cold right now, so I got a sweatshirt on so you can't see it. But either way, Alan, we're here again at Iowa, and boy, oh boy, have we come to really grow and love this racetrack.
It really is a really cool track. It's about 7/8 of a mile, and these guys are going to be using every bit of it, from down low to up high. you'll see some guys, they'll be wanting to run that high line, but there's going to be some experimentation out there. Guys are going to be, searching for a good line out there. So there's a little bit of a transition there between the apron and the track around the front of the track. We're in the tri-oval, so watch some guys kind of trying to be careful of that, because that can upset the car if you try to use that apron too aggressively. But man, other than that, I can't wait to get started. This track's going to produce some good racing tonight.
That indeed. And down there, ready for all the beating and banging and bumper flaring action, is Mr. Adam Turner on pit road. Adam, again, you're also supporting the Numb Thumb shirt here tonight, and taking a look back at all the previous races here at Iowa. What do you think is going to be the biggest key to the race here tonight, in your perspective?
I know this is a cop-out, but I think tire wear, this place tends to eat the tires a little bit, and if you're not careful, you hit it hot, you're going to slide up the track and take out somebody. Or you're going to have trouble putting the power back down coming out of one of these corners. That's typically what I think. I'm an idiot, so I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I do like Iowa. I think it's a wide open track. It'll be a lot of fun. Arca cars are blast. Kind of fun to watch them with that new damage model we talked about last week. 2 fast repairs, 70% fuel, 5 sets of tires, 25 incident points. You're disqualified. So I don't know if we'll run into that tonight, but maybe keep them driving a little bit safer. And it looks like about 70 degrees. Perfect race night in Iowa.
That indeed. As we take a look at tonight's race info, beautiful night under the lights here amongst the corn stalks in Iowa. Taking a look at this just under 1 mile length worth of speedway here, and bringing us down to that key to the race. And it might be a little less than 1.5 miles, but boy, sure does it race like one.
It really does. I mean, it lends itself kind of to almost like a homestead feel. It's pretty flat out there, so you hit the nail right on the head, Adam, about tire wear. These guys are going to be fighting it every step of the way. So, yeah, for sure, man. Race like it's 1.5 miles, but keep in mind that those turns are a little tight. You're going to have to do some checking up.
Yeah, it's crazy. This track isn't even 1 mile long. It's, 0.88 miles? 0.88.
7/8. Yeah.
But when you're watching the race, it does feel like just a regular intermediate track. So I think that's because there's a lot of space, but that space with the tire wear tends to get a little tighter because people start moving up and down the track, and it gets a little more mayhem. And hopefully somebody will kick somebody in the tail, and we'll have a fight, and somebody will turn someone, and then they'll wrestle right there in the middle, and then maybe somebody get a black eye. Stuff like that could happen here, right?
Who knows? Just maybe, as our drivers head on out for some qualifying here. And so they try to put in their best times, creep up that leaderboard, and try to start up here with some good starting spots. And I don't think, it was a 13 here of Chris Klein having an issue coming out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway here. Dang, he was fighting that thing for quite a while, but finally comes to rest down there at the exit of pit road. We've seen the trucks here, which is absolutely amazing racing we've seen from that. Also, I think we've seen the Xfinity cars here. I know we've at least seen the old next-gen Cup cars here once, and that was some pretty good racing, but I don't think we've ever seen some Arca racing here.
I've never seen it. This is a perfect track for Arca cars. It really is. So, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. Hopefully, guys, put in a little bit of practice. I mean, it's not the hardest pit road to get on in the whole world, but it's not the easiest either. The pit road speed limit's only 40 miles an hour. So hopefully these guys did practice it some. Also, you got to think about this here as well. Pit exit. Knowing how much power you can put down, how fast you can drive around on that apron without spinning that car on brand new cold tires. We have seen it happen at other tracks, and this one's no different. That turn coming up, it's pretty tight coming out of there, and you want to keep that thing pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, you're gonna have to line those tires, especially on the restart here when you have fresh ones. I think a lot of these guys, they want to race so bad, sometimes they tend to forget that these tires are damn cold, and they can make a misery out of a race in no time. So think about that. Get about 3 or 4 laps in, and then let it rip. I mean, we are in the cornfields of Iowa. No better place to just throw down some rubber on a Friday night.
As
Double O Joe looks like he's got a passenger riding there with him.
Yeah, it looks like, as always, here at Numb Thumbs, they like to, it's a family business, a family affair over here. I know a lot of these drivers, really couldn't do this without the support of their family. And possibly a mini crew chief sitting behind there, and I'm sure she's going to give Double O Joe a piece of her mind there for how he was driving on that outlap here, trying to get some qualifying in.
Hard to get that power down and make it stick there. What's our track temp, Adam? It wasn't too hot, was it?
It was 70 last I checked. Right now it is at 68. Perfect.
It's good and sticky out there as far as the track temp goes, but I mean that only goes so far.
Oh man, and I mean you can see it there in the middle of 1 and 2, the back end of Double O Joe's little Arca car there. It was bouncing around a good chunk. That's another thing people really kind of underestimate about this track. I know visually it looks pretty smooth. Ooh, as he loses it coming out of 4. Oh man, hard impact up into that wall. But this is a concrete racing surface. I know it doesn't look like it, but man, from all the wear and usage that this track has seen, it gets a little bumpy out there.
Yeah, it hasn't had a repave in a while. Yeah. So, but that's part of the fun here.
Yep.
You gotta learn the track, figure it out.
I want to thank our fans that are already starting to show up over there in the YouTube chat. Track Bar Media is here, one of our sponsors, saying let's go Holler Boys. Jason Kraft is joining us over there as well, saying let's go boys from APX. I wish I was racing with you. Y'all go get that checker flag tonight, boys. Thank y'all so much. They're trickling in slowly. Here's the Arca race. We're getting set up here for. We got 200 laps on tap for you guys tonight.
200 laps. I think my math was wrong because I thought 7/8 in decimal was 825, and it's actually 875. So I was probably off by a couple there, but it's right around 165-ish miles here, and we're going to be looking forward to seeing each and every single one of them being run here tonight, and who knows, maybe even some bonus racing action here come the end of this one.
Yeah, they'll have a couple of green-white checker opportunities available should they need them. Should the aggression really get stoked up there towards the end, which we've seen it happen quite a bit. This league, though, pretty clean racers that we've seen, and the car count not ridiculously high like we see sometimes, but they're going to be about 25 Arca cars take the grid tonight. We'll see how many we can get to finish this thing.
Hopefully we can keep them all on the lead lap and let it rip out here, man. Short track racing, but it feels like it's not short track racing, so it's going to be interesting to watch with these Arca cars, and hopefully a lot of fun.
It's the 728 of Timothy Pope goes on around. We saw him pick up a last lap dash win here on Wednesday night with the Vigilante Racing League over there at Richmond. So getting into a new car here tonight and jumping on board here at Iowa. Let's see if he can continue his solid run of racing over the last couple weeks. Got a couple more people out there still waiting for them to qualify. It looks like they're going to run out of time. And Josh Bittner currently sitting on top of that standings. Man, talk about a great season here in these ARCA cars for Josh Bittner, picking up a win at Twin Ring. And then I think he was at least on the podium there last week. So Josh Bittner's been putting in the work.
Yeah, he has. And he's been working over there trying to get good merch for everybody too at TrackDogsRacing.com, where our t-shirts that we're wearing tonight came from. So if you want some NTRL gear or HCK Beagles Racing gear, they got NTG Trucking got some merch over there too as well. So a little bit of everything for everybody. TrackDogsRacing.com.
Yes, indeed, as our drivers head on out there to take the grid down here in pit lane. So let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver is starting here tonight. Starting us off with the 84 of Josh Bittner on pole position with the 15 Vince Short starting on his outside. We got Steve Singer driving around here tonight, starting in third with the one of Mr. Bogus himself, Derek Welsh, starting on the outside of row 2 in fourth. 53 of James Bowden is going to be starting fifth with the 5 of Nicholas Coate on his outside in sixth. 97 of Toby Blakesley is going to start here in seventh with the 60 of Brian Neff starting here in eighth. Ninth, we have the 99 of John the Boss Ross, having a pretty good qualifying effort there, with the 72 of Carson Conway rounding out tonight's starting top 10.
Our buddy Michelob, Richard Gray, and the 110 machine starting in 11th. Outside row number 6, Double O Joe Bennett will start in 12th place. Rich Blake and David Hoytsma make up row number 7. Row number 8 is going to be the 728 of Tim Pope and the 751 of Michael Adamson. Let's see, row number 9 is going to be Cody Bickler in the 43 and the 23 of Mark Collins. And rounding out your top 20, row number 10, the 19 of Cole Larson and the 88 of Alex Brock.
Number 13, Chris Klein, starts 21st. 48, Zeth Hawley. I know he's pretty aggressive. If he's out there, I don't know if he's running admin tonight or what, but he'd be 22nd if he was. 020, Simon Treegis, 23rd. 57 of Russ Endicott starts this thing 24th, and Tom Barish in the 55, aka Wally Balls, rounds it out. So let's have some fun here.
That indeed, as that is your field all rounded up here and driving around out there on track behind the pace car, getting ready to, for the first time here tonight, get back to, or get to, I should say, green flag racing. Oh no, Josh Bittner in the 84 has been blinking a couple times here as we get ready, so hopefully things stabilize for him, as it looks like he's going to have a pretty good run here tonight, or a good chance of it. As the lights on that pace car are off, we're get ready to head on down there to the track and get this party started. Thankfully, with how short this track is, it's pretty quick pace laps here tonight, so these guys aren't going to be around there too long. But also, we'll have to take a look at it. If we see green flag pit stops here, Alan, looking at these pit road entrances and exits, man, it can get pretty slicey and dicey.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not the easiest one in the world, but it's not the hardest either. Hopefully these guys did do a couple of pit entry and pit exits during practice. We'll see the guys who go spinning in down there with the brakes locked up and stuff. Those are the ones that probably should have did it a couple of times during practice, but we shall see.
And that we shall, as that pace car makes its dive down there onto pit road. Into that Geico restart zone we go. And off and running, green flags waving side by side, beating and banging action, sending it on down to turns 1 and 2. The 84 and the 15 still side by side with the 15, with the great run on that outside line. Is going to leapfrog over Josh Bittner there, take control of this race. Kind of single filed out there behind him just a little bit, but we still have some side by side racing going on. You got the 53 way down low, hugging that bottom line as much as he can here, as everybody tries to shuffle on around him. Looks like probably the high line is where you want to be as that 53 machine continues to move on back. The 97 now trying to catch up to him here and pick up a good run.
Wow, what a great first lap from the front two contenders there, just side by side, trading a little paint on the first lap of the race. I love that. That's exciting.
And they were reminded from Derek Welch, hey, full tires, full tires, full tires. And I think it might have helped them, in the back of their mind there to lay off the throttle just a touch here. Don't spin it early. So far, looks like everything's going to turn out pretty good.
Double O Joe now side by side with the 79 and trying to follow that 728 of Timothy Pope up through this field to improve upon his position. I think he was just really kind of stuck on the whole cold tires there in qualifying, and now that the tires are warmed up, look forward for that Double O Joe to move on up this leaderboard as here comes, looks like Mike Adamson now with a pretty decent sized run trying to get some passes done himself.
Yeah, thank you, Jason Kraft, for that compliment out there. We sure appreciate it. We're doing our best for you guys week in, week out. Richard Gray said, let's go to AAA. Thank you, Richard. Papa Joe bit it out there. Of course, pulling for the 00 out there on the track. Albert Anderson's there, saying good luck to his teammates and friends. Look forward to a great race tonight. Tim Stubblefield says, I need to hook y'all up some Team Stub Nation hats. I tell you what, we take some free hats, and I'll wear it on here.
Well,
I'm always looking at free hats.
As you're looking for free stuff, I'm watching this race. 72 Carson Conway is trying to get after John Ross in the 99, but I think he might be burning at those tires trying to get past him. It's a tough place to pass, looks like.
Man, you're not kidding. We're seeing that line, like you said there, Mr. English, about a lot of people running up high, trying to stay against the wall, or at least if they're coming on down, they're doing it very carefully and not drifting down too low, trying to stay there in kind of like the middle here as the 6 and the 1 go racing side by side here. The one of Derek Welch picking up that third spot, but not for long without a challenge as the 6 of Steve Singer trying to make a run here on the outside, but just not able to get it done. Pushes out wide, almost gets us up into the wall, but is able to keep it off of it. He's now chasing, having a chaser of Nicholas Coate coming up behind him.
Yeah, he's moving right up on his quarter panel there, and he'll have to get out of it there. And meanwhile, he's going to get caught right there by the 60 machine. I mean, it's not easy right there, right side by side here at Iowa. Like you said, Adam, there's not a lot of. It's hard to pass here because there's only really one good line, but some guys are moving around doing a little experimentation. That low lane just doesn't seem like the place to be, does it?
It's too hard to stick down there over more than a lap, And it's hard to get a run down there. You're burning those tires up. It looks wide, but like you're saying, there really seems to be only one real way to run this track. So how you're going to have to make positions is obviously by attrition and by the guy in front of you burning up the tires, making mistakes. So hit your marks. You'll be able to pass somebody. Chris Klein looks like he's trying to make a pass here on the Double O Joe Bennett and Reese's machine. And I think he did.
Trying to get some shake and a bake in that Wonder Car here. Gets around Double O Joe, moving up into 17th. Plenty of time to continue that climb up that leaderboard for these two drivers as we continue to click green flag laps away here from Iowa. Rich Blake in that 62 gets around the 110 of Richard Michelob Gray. Moving on up here through this field. He's got about a second to make up to catch up to Carson Conway. But talk about a great fight we're having here between 4th, 5th, and 6th. You got Brian Neff, Nicholas Coate, Toby Blakesley all in it here. Not to mention you also got James Bowden there as well. Just kind of lurking in the background, just trying to wait for someone to make a mistake here or maybe burn up their tires just a little too much, as Vince Short and Josh Bittner were out there quite a ways for a second there, but they are starting to kind of fall back towards the field a little bit.
Yeah, I'm seeing a couple cars get up in the marbles a little bit. The 5 just did just now. The 99 did as well. John Ross did a couple of laps ago. So you want to run up high, but there are some marbles up there really close to the wall. And both cars got a little bit on their right side, got a little squirrely for a second. They were able to save it here.
Yeah, you definitely don't want up in those marbles. It's already slick enough at points when your tires wear down, but you get stuck in those marbles, makes for a whole different headache.
As that
Realize you're in them too.
Oh, absolutely. As that 99 of John Ross looks up to the inside here of that 53 at James Bowden. Does he have the run? No, just not enough quite yet. Just sizing up his opponent here and trying to pick the right moment to make a move as Timothy Pope now moves up the inside of that 110 of Michelob Gray. Slowly trying to get that pass done. Not quite clear. This is one of those tracks, I think it's, what is it, like Darlington or maybe even Bristol, where you can pass on that inside. It just takes a little extra longer to do so.
Yeah, it's about patience, and you really got to manage that right front. You don't want to just send it on down, way down deep into the turn. It's not going to work for you. All you're going to do is hurt yourself and hurt your handling.
And speaking of, here comes the 84 of Josh Bittner picking up a run out of turns 3 and 4, sneaking that lead away from the 15 of Vince Short here. Looks like Vince Short might try to come back here with a little challenge down the back straightaway. Not quite going to be there just yet. So now if you're Vince Short, man, follow what kind of Bittner's doing, because he was looking very fast out of these corners, getting a little tail happy there coming out of turn number 4, but able to stick with it here and maintain that lead.
Just shy of 20 laps in, these guys are already starting to get a little bit squirrely. Look here in the next few laps, we're going to see our first couple of cars, I think, start to come around here. 7-Eleven Trick says, let's go Vincent Short. Short, 15, he's got some fans out there.
We have 5 sets of tires, so they got 4 left after the one they got on here at the beginning of the race. That will probably become a factor here as this thing works its way to the end. We're at 20 laps in, and the tires seem to be, a little bit, getting a little slick out there.
As we just saw the 23 and Mark Collins doing a little bit of a rail grind up there on that outside wall, so a bit of paint missing there for him. Doesn't look like he's got any damage. You got the 79 of Dave Hoitzma. He was battling it there with the 751 of Mike Adamson for just a second, but
99 back in the wall again, getting in the marbles, scraping that right side up against that painted white wall up there. You're already starting to see some black tire stripes all the way down that white wall out there. Those are not painted on. Those are coming from these cars racing here tonight.
And speaking of these cars, they are still battling hard out here. 97 of Toby Blakesley and the 5 of Nicholas Coate just trade positions here in outside of this top 5 right now. Both drivers working hard to try to make up some ground here, as both Bittner and Vince Short kind of running away from the main field here. And that's really going to be the problem here, Adam. We're talking about when these guys might come on down into the pits and whatnot, but if they've only got four sets, man, how the math works out, that's dang near 50 laps on a run. That's a long time to run on these tires.
They're going to have to hold out or hope for some kind of caution where they don't burn the tires up. But so far, we're not seeing that, although I'm watching that 99, and you can tell his tires don't feel good to him. He's sliding up the track, seems like almost every turn. Just pushing in too hard. Same with the 62. Pope is patiently behind them, trying to figure out when he's going to make his move.
Yeah, he's one of the best around at playing the long game and really taking care of those tires, the driver of the 728.
As we're starting to see Josh Bittner here in the lead, catching up to some lap traffic now. 15 of Vince Short has a challenger in that one of Derek Welsh right behind him right now. Trying to run away from him a little bit here. Brian Neff in that 60 and that 5 of Nicholas Coate, man, that battle is far from over as people are trying to slice their way around and through some of this traffic. So kind of lap traffic gonna be part of the name to the game here. Is looks like Pope is moving around the bottom line here, trying to get around that 62 of Rich Blake, but Rich Blake, he's not going down without a fight, getting a big run coming off of turn number 4 down that back straightaway to get that position back. Pope still down there side by side racing action as they go down this back straightaway. Looks like the 62 might run into some issues here with some traffic in front of him that Pope can use to his advantage.
Some of these cars out there are already starting to look like dirt cars. The back end's starting to hang around just a little bit. Oh yeah, big checkup here in front of the 88.
Look at the slide job on the 99. That was
Man.
a complete slide job. Not on purpose, I don't think. And he's on the wall again. He's having the damnedest time keeping control of that thing, but he's still sitting up there in the, what is he, in the top 10, John Ross is, yeah. But he's about to get passed by Pope.
And we were kind of spread out there for a little bit, but everybody with this tire, we're coming back together now. You got Cote, Blake, Pope, Ross, Conway, Adamson, Hoytsma, all fighting their way up into this top 10 right now. And they're also chasing down that 53 of James Bowden. So these guys, man, they are racing harder than that real Mrs. Poindexter. Sorry, Adam, had to steal it.
Let's say I hadn't used it in a while. It's all yours. If I don't use something for like 2 or 3
Contact.
weeks...
88's around. Hell is out. Alex Brott in the 88 trying to get that thing refired down off of that wall.
Completely spun around for that 88 machine. Let's go back and kind of watch what happened. Oh, just getting tight. Gets up into the 79, who was already up against the wall, and kind of just ride it around the corner here. And yeah, just running out of room. And I think that's what those tires will do to you. The 88 just pushing on up, getting spun against that outside wall.
Oh yeah, and you know those tires were not feeling good to them. It's just product of the environment out there.
All right, so what are these guys doing? I predict you may see some gas and go. I think it might be too early to already be throwing on a full set of tires here, being that they only get 4 additional sets.
The best part is we're all on the same playing field. I'm like you, like especially up front. I mean, you just get some fuel. It's going to be a long race. You cannot burn these tires up. You have to save them.
Now we're going to get to see this race coming down off of pit road as pretty much everybody and their grandmother coming on down into pit road to get that fuel. And I'm not seeing a lot of left side jacks go under these cars, and now I'm seeing it. So I guess 4 tires and go-go juice for these drivers here. Looks like Bittner able to get that race off of pit road done. Hoytsma in the 79 pitted a lap earlier. I got a feeling he's probably got to serve a black flag move to the end here. But Rich Blake staying on out there. He's going to be... Nope, he's now coming on in.
Yeah, I think he must have missed a pit entry or something there in the chaos of things. But, yeah, 4 tires, the name of the game here. I couldn't have called that one any worse. But... look like Mark Collins made with 2 tires there, Adam.
Yeah, he did. It's definitely. We had one more. Looked like they just took fuel, but I think maybe he came back around. I don't know. We're not out there. Very interesting. Put brand new tires on with 30 laps in. So I'm not good at math, but let's see. They got 3 sets of tires after this one, right? So. I don't know. You have 170 laps roughly to go.
They're going to be hurting for rubber a lot worse later, I think.
They're not kidding. Well, while they're pacing here, let's go ahead and talk to one of these drivers. Let's talk to that 99 of John Ross, part of that OGC racing team here.
Car down.
Hey, John, it's the guys in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you, man.
Hey, man, good solid 30 couple laps there to get things started off, but we're starting to maybe see some tire wear come into play here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think after about 20 laps, first 3 to 4 laps, it's really slick, and then after about 25 laps, you really start to push up toward the wall. You can feel it. So yeah, those people that are really taking care of the tires are passing us pretty quick.
Yeah, we've seen you running the high line quite a bit, trying to take care of those tires, but those marbles kind of get you every now and then, don't they?
Yeah, every now and again, and it's actually a pretty good line to run. I'm getting a really good run coming off of the turn. I like it. We had a lap car kind of get up there with me and really slowed me down there at one moment. But I think that's going to be the line that I choose the rest of the night.
Well, good luck to you. Tire wear is the name of the game. Try to save them where you can.
Yep, you got it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That was John Ross there as we start to get double filed back on up here and get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. And that's with Josh Bittner up at the front, Vince Short right beside him here. Both drivers looked very strong at the start of this run, and definitely look forward for these guys to continue that run here tonight.
Well, they're the class of the field, so I expect them to stay the class of the field, but watch out for that 728 attempt at Pope. He's got the fresh tires on. I think he's ready to be heard.
And so the pace car makes its way down onto pit road here. We get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing from Iowa in this Numb Thumbs Racing League. Big checkup on that bottom line. Oh, man, I think the 84 trying to just maintain pace speed, and the 15 was a little too ready to go, waiting for that green flag to come on out. So Josh Bittner gets the big jump there, jumps out to the early lead here. As that bottom line, man, it just got checked up hard as we're still hard too wide racing here throughout this field.
Yeah, Short did get a black flag for that restart right there, so he's going to have to come down under green and serve that. That's going to be a devastating penalty. Okay, they did clear it, so a little judgment call there by the admins after hearing the guys argue their case there. So Vince Short will not have to come down and pit under green.
Kind of lucked out there, so.
Oh yeah, big time. That would have ended his race there pretty much.
It's gonna hurt you.
As the 6 of Steve Singer and the 60 of Brian Neff make their way around that one Numb Thumbs racing machine of Derek Welsh. Derek, one of those guys, we were seeing him pick up some good speed here later on in the run, so maybe trying to save those tires as much as possible here once when that green flag flew, possibly losing another position here to that number 5 of Nicholas Coate as they head on down into 1 and 2 there. But still some solid racing to be had. Double O Joe side by side with the 13 Wonder Bread machine. Now the 72, almost 3 wide here as they go into turns 3 and 4.
Adam, I don't know if you're thinking like me, but I'm going to say everybody just go ahead and go around me. I'm going to take care. I'm going to baby these tires as much as I can. I might even try to get 60 laps out of the set just to make sure I've got those fresh ones waiting behind the wall for me on that last caution, and everybody else have done used theirs up.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd have been passed already, lapped. Simon Shregis in the 020 is having some self-spinning issues. He got out of it. I don't know what's going on with him. He worked it out. No caution, but yeah, I don't know. I'd be driving with my rearview mirror at this point. The leaders would probably be already on my tail.
Collins fighting a loose condition as well, and that Michael Jordan, number 23.
I think he only took
kicking out. Yeah, 2 tires. Yeah. It's kind of coming back to haunt him a little bit here.
We have seen these Arca cars, and with our racing experience combined here, you know, I don't think in the Arca cars I ever took 2 tires. This car was just unstable enough at most of these tracks that 2 tires really doesn't do it for me. You can get away with it in the trucks, but man, these Arca cars are kind of like the Xfinity cars a little bit. A whole lot of horsepower, but not a lot of downforce.
Oh, contact! The 99 and 728 just got tangled up. Caution's out, and they're stacking up behind them. 99 with heavy right front damage. He's got some suspension damage as well.
Pope got mixed up into that with no tire. Look at his right front tire on Pope. That's weird.
72 just kind of body checked the double zero as well. Man.
Yep, that was Ross coming up to look like he kind of was fading up to the track, just come across the nose of the 728.
Yeah, Pope wasn't going to get out of it either. He wanted to assert his position there, to keep that position there.
And that indeed, as we take a look here at the kind of after effects of that one, the 72 getting involved in it as well. But Ross and Pope, the call it the main culprits there. I think. Oh yeah, I saw what you were seeing there with the 72. I think it was just a little squirrely, maybe a little steering damage there to as he was trying to get around some of that traffic. And but yeah, big impacts here. And these Arca cars, they do have that new damage model. So what you were seeing there with Pope missing that wheel, that's part of that damage model.
Yeah, I saw somebody's deck lid flapping too as they went around. Pretty cool what they could do with the graphics and stuff on this damage model. Parts flying off the cars and stuff. If we get, one of those types of wrecks where we have a huge impact, guys will be losing hoods and fenders and stuff out there on the track.
Yeah, no, it's part of iRacing. It's really cool. Here's a little talk on the track about, I don't know, there might be some anger out there.
There's a little controversy over that restart back there on.
Well, what's the controversy, English? I mean, it's a restart. What happened? I watch these guys in the rear. I really tend to watch the back because I like to see what's happening. What happened up front there?
Yeah, so the 84 was the control car, and the 15 kind of went there, I think, and as soon as they got to the blue area there, the Geico restart zone, but the 84 is the control car, so he's just got to wait for the 84 to go there, I think, is the way the rule is. There is a rules section on this track, so there you got the initial race start and race restarts. The leader controls all race restarts. Yep. If the lead car does not accelerate by the end of the start zone, the flagman will restart the race. So that's why the 15 did get a black flag. But I think that was just kind of maybe everybody didn't know about this. I'm not sure if that's why they cleared it or what.
That's ignorance is no excuse for the law. You have to know the law when you're running out here. But I like the little bit of controversy there. I guess they had a little debate about it, and I'm sure they'll have rewatch the tape.
Yeah, I'm sure admins will go back and review this as well.
It's really not I'm just trying to stir up some drama. I don't really have a dog in the fight.
I mean,
but I mean, if somebody's going to argue, I want to be a part of just listening and maybe be like mediator,
or instigator. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that
yes. More.
Ugh. Sorry, got some aviation news. Got a couple. I can't say a couple towns over. It's more than a couple, but had a plane crash into an apartment building here just a little bit ago.
Like a Cessna or an airliner?
It's definitely smaller than an airliner. Haven't heard reports on whether it was like one of those little Cessnas or if it was a private jet, but knowing the airports that are out in that direction, it was probably some Cessna or something like that. But
general aviation.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember when that guy was angry with the internal revenue? I can't say the whole name. Those people in Austin, and he took one of them planes and he put it in their building. That was crazy.
That was years and years ago.
What?
Yeah, I do.
What a nut! But I mean, he was just a little mad, I guess.
Watch these guys on this restart. Let's see if it's a little bit cleaner here. The 84 is the control car once again. The 6 of Steve Singer out there, Hollow Boys Racing TV machine.
As the pace car does dive off down into pit road, and away we go. Green flag racing here from Iowa. Good, clean restart here this time. No big checkups happening throughout this field. Looks like we might have some 3-wide action going on kind of in the middle to back of it, though, as Josh Bittner gets that good run coming out of 1 and 2. The 60 trying to make some moves here. Brian Neff looking up underneath him now.
Yeah, that 3 wide. That they got kind of scary for a second, but they figured it out.
Oh, Josh Bittner up into the wall, and man, that thing is like a magnet. You cannot get off of it for the life of you when it gets stuck up in there. So Josh losing a few positions here as the 60 and the 6 makes their move around him here. Same thing with that 15 of Vince Short getting around him now as the 60 and the 6 battle here for that top dog spot, with Vince Short and Josh Bittner battling for the next podium spot right there behind him.
They are driving it in hard and sliding up the track. I mean, you really have to watch your lift points, brake points here as these tires fade. There's some interesting stuff happening kind of in the rear of the field here, watching the people that slide. It looks cool when nobody gets hit.
Oh, Bittner again just almost getting up into that outside wall, so really feeling those marbles up here as he gets a big run on Steve Singer right now on that outside lane. Let's see if he can't keep that run in momentum coming off of turn number 4. Looks like he will, so Bittner back up onto that podium after that little mistake of tagging that outside wall here as the 60 of Brian Neff leads some laps here tonight. You got Chris Klein now moving on up through this field. He's trying to chase down that 5 of Nick Coate and the 1 of Derek Welsh, who's side by side with James Bowden coming down through turns 3 and 4. Now coming down this front straightaway, they're still going to be side by side as they cross the line.
Yep, sub 24-second lap times for some of these guys out there. They're out there running pretty quick, clicking them off quick as well. We're already to lap 55 here. Long way to go, though. 200 laps takes a while to run a race that long here.
Yeah, and how many, everybody talks about, oh, you just turned left, it's NASCAR, y'all don't know what you're doing, it ain't racing. No, there's a lot going on out there on the track. The track changes, the car definitely changes, the tires change, the aerodynamics change. There's a lot of actual, it's like rocket science put into this stuff. And simulating these cars, it's really almost like the real deal out there in NASCAR.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. And in fact, the Wood brothers, one of their engineers was a NASA engineer. I can't remember her name. I know her if I saw her, though, but yeah, NASA engineer brought over to work at Wood Brothers. So there's a lot of data crunching and stuff that needs to be done.
Yeah, it's not like the 70s when they went over to the Oldsmobile dealership when they got in town and put some roll cages in them and put them out on the track with some paint. Although those days were cool too. Don't kid yourself. That was a pretty interesting time in NASCAR.
Ooh, the 5, Nicholas Coate.
Yeah.
Getting that back end a little squirrely coming down across the line here. He's going to be facing a challenger here with that 13 of Chris Klein as they head on down this back straightaway here.
Adamson is following the 5 through this mess right now. The 1 in the 53 we're fighting for position right there. And now it looks like they're going to single file up to kind of protect from getting past from behind here. That's one thing you can do. If you're running side by side with somebody and you're losing, and people are gaining ground behind you, you just go sit back single file again. I mean, it'll keep you from losing your spot, so easily. They're catching Bittner here pretty quick, it looks like. He's inching the 15 of Short down kind of low there.
And that he was, as we were having a battle here for the lead. That got sorted out by the 60 of Brian Neff. Singer now facing a tough challenge with the 84 of Bittner, who made a good pass there on the 15 of Vince Short. All battling here, trying to stay on this podium, try to get up to this top spot here on lap 62 out of 200. And that chase field definitely starting to reel these guys in the more and more they battle.
And that's a great strategy to have. Get your nose in on the outside, because that's where you're going to get the good runs anyway. Get outside of them, and when you go into the corner like that, pinch them down low, and then, the position's going to be yours for the taking after that. You cannot get a good run on the bottom like that coming off the turn.
Yeah, well, what's interesting to me, Tim Pope is such a good driver. He is having a difficult time trying to pass back here in 16th place.
I still think it's him playing the long game. I don't think he's really interested in track position right now. It's just staying on the lead lap.
But you got to be somewhat close, don't you? You can't just rip it all off at once.
Maybe in about 120 laps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's got a trick up his sleeve, don't he? I shouldn't question his.
No, I've done that before. I've lost every time too. Damn near.
Yeah, Josh Bittner having a battle here with the 6 of Steve Singer. Trying to put some good laps down. Here comes Derek Welsh in that one machine trying to get around that 53 Fujifilm of James Bowden. Getting on down into turns 1 and 2 is going to be side by side still here. Exiting that turn, looks like 53 on that high line, just being able to keep that momentum up just that much better than these guys trying to pass on that low side here. You see the 751 Mike Adamson sitting right there behind him. We're waiting for a moment to pounce as the 5 and the 15 and the 6 go side by side here as Josh Bittner and Brian Neff go side by side up here for the lead.
Yeah, that number 6 is running like a sewing machine, and he's holding that top line, and he's making it pretty hard on Vince Short to gain any ground on him there. He just can't get clear of him.
Like a sewing machine? What's that mean? Like he's got some 12-year-old Asian kid working the pedals or something? In the sweatshop?
He's just running smooth, man. He's running smooth like a sewing machine. You never heard that? Well, that's a play on words, too, because his name is Singer. I didn't figure
you know what? Yeah, you are pretty smart. Smarter than me. Look at Chris Kleino in the Wonder Bread machine. I think he has a tasty treat coming out of his tailpipe. Delicious smelling treat. He's kind of moving up there, trying to get inside the top 10. He's already 10th, but he's trying to work his way up as there's movement in front of him.
That indeed, as Bittner and Neff still battle side by side. Bittner sending it in hard here, trying to build up that momentum and make it stick. Looks like he's going to be able to, as a whole bunch of people getting loose coming out of turn number 2 there. But now Bittner in the lead up on that high side here. He's going to try to run away from the 60, Brian Neff, who was doing the best he could to stay up there on that high side and do some blocking here.
Well, remember when these guys pitted, it was lap 30. So now they've already got 40 more laps on these tires, 10 more than they previously had on that other set. So they're really trying to stretch it out and try to avoid pitting right now, if at all possible. Adam Strom joining us, said, hey, Turner just got to the track, got a cold case of natty ice. Hope you're thirsty.
Natty Ice. Well, this is Iowa. Hell, we might as well have that. One of them. They got the loose meat sandwich up there. Y'all ever heard of that thing? It's like a hamburger. It's like a hamburger, but it's.
Oh, no, there goes the
big wreck on
15.
backstretch.
The 15, the 53, and the 5 getting knotted all up here.
There's going to be some angry drivers after this.
Well, you think so? We'll see what happened there. I want to see that. Okay, 15 slides. Oh, track bar media.
Wasn't clear.
Well, I don't think he could.
53.
I think he just sent it in so hard. I don't think he could control it.
Tried to slide job him, but he just knew how close it was. I have to look at it from Chopper or something.
Yeah. That Brown is the one that has. He's more fair than us.
Yeah.
See what Brown says.
It just looks like that 15 just kept drifting on up, maybe getting the clear call from the spotter, and it was just not the case here. A lot of beaten and battered race cars out there. As quite a few people getting involved in that one. Just about all of them racing very well up here at the front, as we're starting to see another round of pit stops happen.
Well, if you think about it, he is pushing the envelope on the low side with very old tires. I mean, and it just pushed him up the track. I think the car took him where it went in front of what was that, the 53 there. And it is what it is.
Yeah, it looks like possibly just a splasher of fuel there for Josh Bittner. Quick in and quick out. Same thing with the 5 of Nick Coate, Steve Singer, Brian Neff, and a whole bunch of others all coming on down for their full set. Richard Michelob Gray coming on down for just a little bit of a splash. Same thing with the 55 of Tom Barish, but both Timothy Pope and Mark Collins staying on out here.
Looks like Cody Bickler of the 43 did get a lap back, so he won a little lucky dog competition between himself and Rich Blake. Rich Blake now sitting in that lucky dog chair all by his lonesome, one lap down. So as long as he stays clean, he doesn't really have to race anybody. Stay clean until the next caution. You get back on the lead lap there, Rich.
Yep. Very well. Yeah. Well, that's Natty Ice. Thanks, Strong. That's some strong beer you're bringing over here. So we're gonna have to get some pork tenderloin sandwiches in there. I know they like that in Iowa too. I've been up there a bit. That's the tough people up there. When you're living in a cornfield, you got to be kind of tough.
I want to thank Zeth Hawley for being race control tonight. He's having to sort out a lot of this business that you're seeing out there on the track and assess penalties on the fly and everything. So
English.
Zeth Hawley doing everything he can up there to try to be fair. Yeah, what you got, man?
You just go ahead and read one of the last comment that was put on the YouTube machine.
I was going to let you read it, but...
Well, hang on. Before we do that, Brown, are you wanting to talk to somebody?
Nope, you're good.
Caution.
You're good.
Okay. I'm sorry. We carry on sometimes.
Yeah.
So we get carried away.
Yeah, Albert Anderson saying that that last wreck kind of reminded him of the English Turner wreck at Turn 2 of Pocono.
Well, it kind of did.
Yeah, but I put it
however,
right in his damn door, though. I didn't.
Yeah, the door. Yeah, he hit me right in the door and put me into the wall. And you know what? I don't think it even affected him. He just went on down the road.
I don't remember, man. That's been so long ago.
He probably won the race just taking me out like that.
No.
Man.
It did hurt us in team points, though, didn't it?
It did. You took me out, and I still feel the pain a little bit. Because it was in an Arca car, too, if I remember right.
Arca or Xfinity, I can't.
It hurt. I know that. It hurt my feelings real bad.
Well, I know
Scarred.
I know for a fact it was Xfinity.
Was it?
It was.
Hell, I don't know. But I liked Pocono. We were having fun. I was doing real good. Next thing you know, my teammate in the twin painted car. Mine was blue, his was red. We were like Twinkies out there. It just smashes me right into the wall. Savage. That was a rough one. Yeah, I'm over. I think I'm over.
Well, I can laugh about it now.
As the lights on that pace car are off, we're going to have Timothy Pope and Mark Collins up here at the front getting this restart done and underway here as the green flag waves once again as 77 laps have been completed here. Now moving on to lap 78, Pope with a great launch and a restart there as the 6-man splitting it 3 wide, slicing and dicing his way up through the field. Oh my goodness, I thought we were going to see something happen there. Thankfully, everyone got their wits about them as the 6 of Steve Singer just absolutely sending it on those fresh tires, hustling on up to catch up. Oh, but the cold tires starting to bite, saves it just in time as they were coming across the line. Josh Bittner does make it through some of that traffic there himself. He's now side by side with the 60 of Brian Neff as the 6 of Singer continues trying to run down Tim Pope. Oh, we got contact.
Yep, sure
97. No yellow. They kept it rolling, so they didn't throw a yellow. iRacing did not feel like that was wreck worthy of a yellow flag as the 5 of Nicholas Coate comes down pit lane.
Beating banging.
He got a
all
black
over.
flag too, so yeah, Nicholas Coate, black flag coming into the pits there.
There was a lot going on for about 2 laps right there. all
I'm
the way
telling
to
you,
the
that was
field.
intense.
Sure. What? Look at somebody's trying to pass 55 here. Looks like Vincent Short. Going past Tom Parrish.
Looks like he's going
Hello,
to...
Joe trying to pass 79. Put up there.
I just agreeing with what you're saying here is we've got Double O Joe trying to get around 79 of Dave Hoitzma right now up the inside, just not able to get that run. We've seen it time and time again here, man. You got to send it, full send on that low line if you really want to get a pass done here tonight on that low line. Mike Adamson now trying to do just that here, working on that 60 of Brian Neff.
It just fries your tire, though, your right front tire. It just fries it when you're just, because you're putting a lot more wheel into it than that guy on the outside of you there. It's gonna burn it up. And it looks like maybe using the 84 as a pick here. Oh, maybe not. The 84, I think he took a full fuel load. I don't think he took any tires. He might have taken 2. I kind of doubt it. I think the 84 just took fuel only.
Side by side they run as 751 of Adamson tries to get the pass done on the inside lane of 84 Bittner here, which he does. So now trying to run down a fellow competitor here, Timothy Pope now, as Steve Singer just absolutely charging away right now. But of course, those clean, fresh tires are definitely helping his cause.
Yeah, but English, you'd mentioned Pope's got something up his sleeve. He was saving those tires, wasn't he? He's on 45 laps was when he last pitted, and he's still kind of hanging in there in position number 2. So he must have really done the work of saving those things.
Yeah, he's got a lot more work to do. I mean, here we go. We're still 14 laps shy of halfway here.
Yeah, but I
Some
think
of these guys already took two sets of tires already.
right. This sets him up for having an extra set of tires or some even better fresh ones as the thing closes. So that's the trick he's got up his sleeve.
Hello, Joe Bennett side by side with the 15 of Vince Short. Vince Short get that pass done, and he holds that low line to prevent the double O from getting a little crossover action going. Taking the line away. That's something that we don't talk about a whole heck of a lot, but it really applies at a track like this. Not necessarily doing a ton of mirror driving, but that's part of it, right? If you're trying to take somebody's line away so they can't make the pass on you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and that's the beautiful thing about this track at Iowa. You really can make this car, which you could probably fit, 3-4 wide, of cars, doing a couple miles an hour here, pretty comfortably with some room to spare here. But man, once when you get up to speed, if you're running the right line and everything, ooh, as we got a car saving it as they were sideways coming down across the line. If you set your car up just right in these corners and whatnot, you can make that thing feel about 100 foot wide and you can't get around them.
Yeah, it's just kind of the way this track operates. But I mean, they're doing a great job tonight, though. What are these 2 or 3 cautions with all this tire wear? I think that's probably pretty good. Lesser group would probably have more issues. These guys are running around pretty nice out there.
They've been pretty clean, not just the Arca series, but also the Xfinity and the Next Gen Cup League as well. A lot of these guys racing all 3 series. Oh, Ross and the 72 kind of going door to door there for a second.
Well, he went right through Timothy Pope, who was holding it on the wall. That was mayhem for a quick second. I guess Ross is trying to get his lap back.
Yeah, he had some serious damage on one of those last cautions there. Of course, curse of the broadcaster striking again after talking with him, and he was all excited about just kind of running that high line, keeping it calm, saving those tires. And of course, then right after that, we had to say something to him.
Yeah, that's always the problem, isn't it? Feels like we're hurting these guys.
As the 728 of Pope continues to move on backwards here. Same thing with 84 Josh Bittner. Really not taking those tires is starting to come into play here, but you're right, that strategy of trying to maybe save a little extra here for the end, that's going to be the big difference here at a track like this, as the 00 Joe Machine moves his way on up inside this top 10, gets around Pope. Now the 60 of Brian Neff has his number called up to try to make that move on that low line here on that 728.
This just in, my town that I live in here currently just won Tank of the Year in the Water Tower Art Contest, nationwide contest. How about that?
Well, that is amazing. I thought you were going to have an airplane crash too or something.
Oh, that's good news.
Well, I want to see this artwork. We need to display it somewhere. Oh, what's on there? Is it just paint like a
It's
flower or
patriotic theme and supporting the troops and American flags, red, white, and blue, and all that.
Well,
It's
I like
silhouette
that.
of a B-52 painted on the top. That's pretty cool. There's like 3 of them here in town. They're all painted the same. Sweet.
Does the water taste good, or you got good drinking water?
Well,
Don't worry. 60 is, 00 Joe, the 60 of Brian Neff. Kind of following each other here. Looks like 00 is sliding up the track quite a bit as he's pushing it a little bit harder as this thing goes along.
As these guys continue to fight for green flag laps here. Looks like we still have 22 cars out there running the 020 of Simon, the Cobras Regis. Still sitting there in the pits. He's been sitting there for a while, so I think he might be calling it a night, or he's just maybe stepping away or doing something right now. But Mike Adamson catching on up here to that 6 of Steve Singer, who had those fresh tires and had, if he ends up, even if he doesn't end up winning, I'd call that the move of the race, splitting it 3 wide on that restart and just cutting up through this field. Heck of a move there by the 6. Might have burned them up just a little too quick as we cross that line and reach into halfway.
yeah, Mike Adamson, 751 up 14 spots. Sitting in second right now. Have a race, why don't you, Mike? Really making tracks out there.
Hey, he's got the 1 of Derek Welsh really giving him the business on that back end as the one gets up there and scrapes that outside wall. This is one of those tracks, it's hard to get it off of that outside wall once you get it up in there, but if you can do so quick enough, you actually don't scrub a ton of speed off where it's going to absolutely kill you. You can try to survive it a little bit.
Kind of bounce off of it a little bit. Some of these guys get stuck up in there, and as we've all experienced, that Arca car, once it gets stuck in the wall, you pretty much have to hold it there until the track straightens back out. But a lot of black rubber left on that outside wall from the sidewalls of these cars out here.
You know, definitely, if you watch it, pay attention, it is gaining more rubber on the wall, which is cool.
Yep.
It's a really neat part of the simulation because it started out perfectly white, and
Yep.
now it's got all those marks on it. Look at that. 60 was trying to make the move on Double O Joe on the outside. Brian F. does.
We've seen that work already. Several guys doing that.
Yeah, the outside is when you're in the marbles, it's kind of tough. He's coming up on Hoytsma right now. Looks like see what he'll do with Hoytsma. And the 72 at Carson Conway.
That 88 is really getting beat up out there. He's getting passed like crazy. That's Alex Brott. And that black, really cool painted Budweiser Chevrolet. Yeah, he's on a lap all by himself right now. He's 4 laps down, just kind of trying to survive and stay out of the way out there.
Yahtzee.
Here we go side by side here. What is this for 5th? 79 and the 72. That's Carson Conway and David Hoytsma going at it once again.
Oh, it's a
the 72 smacks it into the wall.
hard impact, and that's going to slow him up. That's not one of those quick on and offs that we were just talking about. That was a hard impact into that outside wall. I got a feeling that 72 might actually start feeling maybe a little bit of suspension damage on that one.
Well, you saw what he did, though. He knew it was going to be a pretty good hit. He held it up there until the track straightened back out, and now he's good to go. He's still keeping pace with Double O Joe here, it looks like, at the moment. Yeah, he might have to start having some handling issues. Once you smack that wall enough times, it just doesn't feel right after that. And Dippin joining us over there on YouTube saying, so no need to fear, I have returned. And welcome back, Dippin. We're glad to see you, buddy.
One of those other things, I know we were talking about it with Greg Klein here a few weeks ago when the latest iRacing update came out. We were discussing how they started implementing, incremental damage happening from all these little wall hits. They've now had that started being, coded in and whatnot. So each and every single one of these tiny taps to that outside wall, man, it's going to start affecting it, especially if you're not able to come on down into pit road for quite a while. As Josh Bittner moves down that leaderboard a little bit here again. Looks like to that 23 of Mark Collins. So that's just another thing to have to watch here is if you keep just tapping and tapping and tapping that outside wall and don't get any of that fixed, man, by the end of it, it could almost be what the equivalent of a pretty hard hit to that outside wall could be.
So it's all cumulative now, so it just keeps adding up, and eventually your wheel's going to fall off. Well, that sucks for some of these guys because I've seen a few guys that have tapped that wall a few times. Hey, and look, that's not the only thing you got to worry about. Each time you touch that wall as well, even if it's only a 1X or a 2X, I mean, there is a 25X incident limit here tonight. These guys got to keep track of. They start giving black flags at 18, and then every 7X after that, which, 7X after 18 is 25, and that's the DQ. So guys got to really be paying attention to how many incident points they've accumulated and try to keep that number down.
Oh, man, sorry. I burped in my mouth on hearing all those stats and almost threw up. But we got the 72 and the 13 side by side here as the 728 Timothy Pope trying to maybe crawl back up this leaderboard now as everyone's tires starting to even back out. We saw some great racing up at the front. Still not done, though, between Steve Singer and Mike Adamson, as well as Derek Welsh, all hanging on out there. They've got about a second and a half back to where Vince Short is, and then Vince Short's got a pretty comfortable little gap as Brian Neff and the 79 of Dave Hoytsma go side by side there for a second.
Good action now that the tires are kind of leveling off here. Everybody's kind of on the same playing field. What's going on with the oldest driver in iRacing, Richard Gray? He's in the pits for a while now.
Yeah, he came down and he's been sitting there for almost 2 minutes now. Sure, he had something going on. He might have some house.
He's probably getting on the phones with his road crew saying, man, we got to get out here and repave Iowa. This thing is too bumpy.
Oh, but is that the 99 missing a right front wheel? He just pulled into his pit stall and he had to use a fast repair just now. John Ross, pretty destroyed front end on that car.
Yeah, let's go.
Just using a fast repair.
Let's go and see what happens here as Ross comes on into pit lane. Oh, you're right. He misses pit lane and drills those barrels there where the outside pit wall is. And yet he had to drive it all the way down pit lane, missing that right front tire. And you can get actually a pretty good look at the sparks. Man, iRacing did a great job with that as he had that suspension parts dragging along the ground there. And, man, great job with that new damage model, guys.
At least he didn't have to tow. He was able to get that thing all the way up to his spot so he could use his fast repair and get back out there as soon as possible. Eddie Rose joining us over there on YouTube saying, Holla Boys Racing TV and Track Bar Motorsports boys out there getting it done tonight.
You're right, as they were just 3 wide here for the lead, and it looks like it's going to cut back to 3 wide here once again. Adamson, Welch, and Singer. That battle has been boiling over here for some time now as the one almost getting up into that 751. The 6 of Steve Singer maybe just losing a little bit of speed now with those tires as the 15 of Vince Short continues to climb his way back on up here. Tries to get back onto one of these podium spots here, running on that outside lane around the 6.
Or Derek Welch on the radio saying, y'all making me nervous with all this stuff up here.
Well, I was watching him. He's making me nervous. He had to lift there. Steve Singer is coming into the pits. Let's see if that's be scheduled for him.
Yep, green flag pit stops underway here at lap 120.
Sewing machine, Steve Singer. I like that. Good job, English.
It's been pretty smooth tonight, Eats.
Yeah.
Been up there battling for sure.
Of course, Conway's coming down. Richard Gray just he put his, I think he went and got a hot dog or something. Put his lawn chair out down there.
May have. Hit the ice cream stand too.
With a cooler.
See if he'll bring me a corn dog.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him.
Get you to bring me one last race. I don't.
No.
I mean, we got busy. I mean, it was.
Maybe I'll bring you one of these natty ices I got from Strong. They'll make your kidneys scream.
Oh, that's right.
Then Short, Derek Welch, Adamson. That is really where it's at right now, isn't it, Brown?
It is a 15 right now, trying to look underneath that one of Welch. Not quite able to get that run to stick, though. That one sticking to that high outside lane, which is actually where I think all the bumps are. So, man, you're really playing with fire. You either go down low and ruin your tires, or you go up high and you have the ride of a Bronco here out there as the 15 of Vince Short comes on down into pit lane. Ew, it almost looked like he might have hit that wall on the inside there for a second, but able to get on and down there okay.
Man, that damage model is super cool. I looked at Cody Bigler's front end in the 43. and it was like torn off, and then they fixed it. Obviously, got a faster pair. It looks like the real deal out there, guys. iRacing doing a heck of a job making this thing look.
Oh, Big Reg, 83 or 88 Budweiser machine. Alex Brott's around. That'll bring the caution out.
Oh, and that is not what some of these guys wanted. They're going to be trapped a lap down.
Oh, man.
As they were doing some green flag pit stops. Oh, man, the 88 just drifting on up into Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, Coat there, and the 13 had nowhere to go. If he's looking in his rear view, there's 2 cars coming. I mean, probably thinking to himself, what do I do?
I mean, you could even see him. He was trying to get up. If that wall wasn't there, he would have kept drifting up for about another mile and a half, but the 88 just not getting quite clear there and getting tagged up, bringing out to the caution here tonight with 75 laps left remaining as pretty much the rest of this field all coming on down in to get some pit stops done.
Oh, I found out what happened to Richard Gray. It's kind of what we figured.
Yeah.
He's channeling his inner Cajun here, where he says, "I'm drinking a beer down here, me."
Oh, so he gave up on the race because he was doing no good, and then he just put his lawn chair out and grabbed cold beer.
He probably took some out of your cooler. You might want to count them cold ones.
I don't blame him.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Ooh, Chris Klein spun coming out of his pit box. The 13, he's squared away. Richard, enjoy the beer, man. This is a tough track. You did everything you could.
Yeah, we get some pit stops happening here. Everybody coming on down. Bittner taking some new shoes. Same thing with quite a few of these guys. Looks like Timothy Pope pitted way back on lap 115. And is going to be able to stay on the lead lap, it appears.
Well, fellas, like you mentioned, you know, we're 25 laps past halfway when this thing went yellow again. If you've got one last set of tires, you're going to try to kind of split this, like splitting a stage. I mean, do you have any kind of inkling of what kind of strategy you might do? But
I'm pushing it all the way until there's a caution, maybe with 20 to go.
Think you could do a whole fuel run on a set of tires and then just slam them on there when you come in to get fuel?
I mean, yeah, you could try that. I mean, that's the beauty of it. We don't know the right answer. It's just like, playing cards at the casino. You don't know. You just got to wait and see what hand you're dealt. Shooting dice in Waco. You know the whole situation.
Oh, yeah. Dippin says you can't challenge Derek Welch. You'll lose that fight 10 out of 10 times. We'll see.
What challenge?
One out there scrubbing his tires. Chris Klein up 15 spots. Tom Barish in the 55. He's up 16 places. So far, he's your hard charger. Chris Klein right there with him, though. That 13. He didn't have them issues on the pit lane. I think 13 would be doing a little bit better.
I think you definitely be right there. But that's not to shortchange that 751. Mike Adamson up 14 there, sitting in second. I mean, even Dave Hoytsma, he's up 11 in that 79, up there in third right now as everyone's starting to stack back up behind this pace car with all these guys coming on around. Speaking of halfway, let's talk about our great sponsors of Davidson Builders. Up there in that northern New Jersey area, go ahead and get in contact with them for your remodeling and beautifying your house needs, as well as welcoming again on board JP Designs and 3D Builds. Man, this guy does some great work out there, so be sure to go and thank those sponsors for their great support here over at this Num Thumbs Racing League.
Here we go. They're trying to get everybody stat back up and close. Pace car's down.
That it is side by side, and here we go. Green flag racing. Welch with a great jump here, but once again, here comes that 60 of Brian Neff. Look to the outside, but 751, Mike Adamson saw it coming and said, no, you don't. I'm moving on up there, blocking that lane as he was trying to make a pass there. So side by side they go down this back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Hard racing to be had all through this field. Oh, little squiggle there from the 60, able to keep it under control as Wonderbread Chris Klein trying to make up some moves on that far outside lane. It's going to be 3 wide here into 1 and 2.
Well, 3 wide again here, the 5, 6, and the 62. 62 scraping the wall there. Got the slow car down on the apron at pit entry area down there.
It looks like it was Alex Brott coming on down back into pit lane here as the 84 Josh Bittner trying to work his magic here against the 13.
He had a black flag. Conservative black flag. Sorry, I missed that.
84.
Crossover here. 13 trying to look low.
84 moved up high, just kind of cut the air across the nose here from that 13, able to get that run on the outside lane. A lot of work here left for the 84, who was looking very strong early on in the run, but he is now trying to fight back his way up to that front. Right now, Hoytsma and Neff and Double O Joe stand in his way as Welch and Adamson kind of slowly drive away here from this field right now.
Ooh, Yahtzee, there's good racing to be had all over the track side by side.
Well, and what's interesting, Brown, we've had several different lead changes where, you'll have a few different guys up front, and then you'll have a caution, then the next thing you know, we've got a whole different crew up front. So we're kind of sharing the wealth here tonight.
And that we are, as the Double O and the 84 went side by side there. The 84 on that high line winning that battle. Vince Short now trying to get into this battle here where the 72 is having a pretty good fight with the 55. The 72, Carson Conway, not racing for position here as he battles this one out with these guys.
So many little battles here throughout the field. It's spread out a little bit because we have so many cars that got trapped a lap down. Steve Singer, one of them, I think, Carson Conway, Mark Collins.
Yeah, he's got the 62 of Rich Blake there kind of hunting him down as Singer right now in that lucky dog spot. He'd love to see another quick caution here, get his lap back and not have to fight here at the end, but you also got the 5 there starting to try to crawl on up. That's Nick Cope.
What I love watching is, like, I just look at a car, I start watching. Joseph Bennett has been in the Double O Joe. It's hard to call him just Joseph Bennett. It's Double O Joe, but super aggressive and having a heck of a race sitting there 6th, but that thing gets a little loosey-goosey on him from time to time because he's really pushing the envelope tonight, but keeping it straight, keeping it clean. Good job in that Reese's Chevrolet 00 this year.
Yep, they go racing along here. Green flag racing, closing in on 50 laps remaining here from Iowa in this Num Thumbs Racing League Arca Series race. Got that 62 still trying to catch on up to that 6 of Steve Singer. 55 Tom Barish, he's feeling some pressure here from that 728 of Timothy Pope fighting on back here.
Well, we talked a little bit pre-race just among ourselves saying, this probably felt like it would have been a little bit better race if they did 150 laps as opposed to 200. it might feel a little bit long for the drivers and this and that, but actually they're clicking them off pretty good, and we've only had a handful of cautions. So I feel pretty good about the length of this race. I think 200. It's kind of a little bit the long side of the sweet spot, if you will.
No, I was hoping for like a 600 lapper, you guys. I don't know. Oh, 88. He's slipping all over the place. Alex Brott, poor guy's
Ooh,
having a
yeah.
rough night. But he's out there still putting laps in.
I quit.
No, he ain't quitting. You might as well just pull a lawn chair up next to old Michelob, Richard Gray down there in the pits, have a couple cold beers. Because you never know.
And I know some of our viewers might be scratching their heads saying, wasn't it supposed to be Langley tonight? Yeah, it was originally scheduled to be at Langley Speedway, but there just wasn't a good setup for the Arca cars here.
Brian Neff, sorry to cut you off there. The 60
yeah.
hard up into the outside wall, losing a few positions here. Josh Bittner finds his way back up onto the podium. Same with Hoytsma and Double O Joe finding their way around that 60 machine. Just one little hiccup there from Hoytsma, and he drops a chunk of time.
What the hell is Langley? Is that an Air Force base?
It is, but that's not the. They're not racing on the base. They're racing at a smaller oval than this, even.
Well, I'll tell you what, I like this one over there. This thing does race like the mile and a half y'all talked about. It really feels like we're at a, like you said, Homestead, almost Texas. I mean, it just really feels a lot larger than it is.
Yeah, this was a good substitution, I think. Kudos to the guys over at Numb Thumbs Racing League for putting together this Iowa Speedway race here, short notice.
Don't they have like all kinds of stuff over at Numb Thumbs where you can truck simulation? They got other games and stuff.
Oh yeah, they fixed it. There's going to be a PGA 2K23 league start up here pretty soon. Of course, they got the DayZ server, Wreckfest. As you mentioned, American Truck Simulator. If you're looking for some people to go gaming with, man, they got just about everything over there. Check them out, Numb Thumbs Gaming on Facebook there. You can find the Discord link as well. Singer in the 6 running that super high line right on the edge of the marbles. But like we mentioned before, Alan, you know, when you run that high line, you do get a good run off the turn as Tim Pope scrapes the wall a little bit there.
Yeah, Singer just still trying to hold off that 62 of Rich Blake, battling here for a possible lucky dog spot. Here comes Blake up the inside with a run, but the 6, he's going to get the run off of the corner here as they go side by side down the back straightaway. And just able to keep that nose there is the 62, as here comes the 15 trying to make up some ground as well.
62 not quite clear on the outside. Singer making up some of that room here. Still there. Now he's 62 is clear, but you see how rapidly things change here with the different lines. That automated AI spotter in your ears just trying to keep up there. Golly, that's intense right there. 3 wide again.
Almost.
Down to the pit, sorry.
Yeah, possibly doing one of his final pit stops here with just under 50 laps remaining. The 62 with the 15 in tow, still trying to get his way around the 6. This is just absolutely burning up those tires on that 62 machine. Oh, it's the 6 up against the wall, able to just steak it off of it.
That was a close one there. There wasn't much room right there between him and that wall. Almost added some more black rubber to that nice looking white paint job on the Iowa Speedway wall.
iRacing simulation, not a game. Look at all that black that's on that wall so far. Just kind of shows you. I don't think it's hurt too many of these guys tonight, though. This car can take a little bit of damage and keep on moving down the road.
Well, still got 17 viewers here watching with us over on the YouTube stream. We sure do appreciate you. We're going to be back starting Sunday with some more racing action. 5 days a week, we're going to bring y'all some racing. So if you like what you see, you like what we're doing, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out, helps us reach more people. And everybody who's been subscribed for a while, and we're over 200 subscribers now, thanks to you.
What do you mean? We used to get like 200,000 by now. 200?
Now that's sitting kind of high. I mean, I'm grateful for the 200. Hey, we got quality fans. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we get to talk to them all the time.
We don't have the huge quantity, but we've got the quality fans out there. We sure do. Thank you so much for that. 6 of Singer and that Holler Boys Racing TV car in the wall again. He's got Pope breathing down his neck now. Mercy.
Tell you what. No, I'm thankful for all these people that show up and watch and listen. And some of us really like what we do. We're just following the race. So we try to have fun with it. Kind of like we're watching with you at home, doing the same thing. We're 3 idiots talking and trying to have fun. Sorry, Brian, you're not really an idiot. I'm just English. I threw you in there anyway.
Guilty as charged.
Well, things definitely starting to space out a little bit more here as the laps continue to trickle on along. They have about 25 laps on this set of tires so far, as Dave Hoisma trying to hold off the 00 machine of Joe Bennett coming down and across the line, catching on up here to some lap traffic as well. But you also got Chris Klein here. He's working up some room and some magic here to try to figure out a way around that 60 of Brian Neff.
He's slippery sliding up there, isn't he? He's just pushing it as far as he can. And I think he's losing a little bit of ground there, pushing it so hard.
Don't forget about one of our other sponsors as well, Country Through the Ages. That's Cooker's website. Writes a lot of articles about classic country music news. Got a Facebook page too as well, so go check them out. countrythroughtheages.com. It's always got some kind of interesting articles and stuff.
I love that kind of stuff.
Cooker does a hell of a job on that.
Well, you get in the rabbit hole on YouTube watching that.
Oh yeah. Ooh, real tight.
Get in the rabbit hole watching AAA broadcasts and all these races we're doing. I mean, we're trying to have fun. I don't know. We're going to have to figure out which one is the best race we've ever called, because we've had some fun ones.
I think it's going to be too close to call for that one, as we're starting to see some bunching up of traffic here. Some people a lap down, some people racing for position here around that 60 of Neff, 13 of Chris Klein. You can also see the I believe that's a 62 working some runs in here, as well as the 15 of Vince Short, as the 79 of Dave Hoisma starting to get caught up again here by that 00 Joe Bennett machine. And it seems like the ebb and flow of these runs continues to move on along.
I think some of the greatest races we've seen have been defined by the finishes. We've had some finishes that were almost dead even. And we had to really kind of break it down. Whoa, there's a traffic jam here with a 43 on the outside. But check out our leader here. Derek Welch running out there. He always claims to hate super speedway racing, but he's really good at it. But this is the kind of racing he really enjoys. The technical, tire saving, make sure you're monitoring your handling on your car and stuff. This is his bread and butter. This is what he likes to do. And it's kind of cool to see him run around up front at a race. At a track he actually enjoys, as opposed to Talladega or iRacing Super Speedway or something like that.
Yeah, everybody, kind of likes different tracks. There's 79s in the wall there.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple cars bouncing off the roads here. We got a car around 99 to John Ross once again. Ooh, he might have to too. I think he's got some front end damage here. Oh, he's got it back rolling. Yellow is out, so
Oh,
rack him and
that's.
stack him once again. What do you think? Is it pit time? Is it money stop time there, Alan?
I think it is. We're definitely closing in on that number here as we take a look here at the 99. Let's go back and look at the chopper camera. Don't know if it was a selfer or if he had some help. Let's go ahead and take a look.
It wasn't a selfer.
It was not a selfer. 728 with just a little bit extra of a run. Gets into the back of that 99. Spins him up on around. Thankfully, it was a pretty soft impact into that outside wall here. But gonna bring out that caution flag anyway, one way or another. Welch leading these guys on down. And so with 35, really 34 laps to go from now, man, these guys are making their money stop.
Pope did claim responsibility for the accident on the radio. Let's see if they're going to give him a EOL here or not. If they do, he's going to lose a bunch of spots. Well,
He just cooked it in a
that's
little
not
too
true. There's
hot.
only 12 cars on the lead lap right now, so he actually would not be in too bad a shape even with the EOL.
No, he's in fine shape. He just went in a little hot. Probably didn't anticipate 99 being as slow as he was there. And it was, I think
It
the
happened.
99 was kind of surrounded. There was a lot going on the track. No harm, no foul. This 728, he's not one of these guys that causes problems, you know what I mean? Like, he's not one of the guys that wants to fight anybody. He just wants
He's
to win.
one of the classiest people. If you've ever met the guy, one of the classiest people, one of the classiest drivers. Tries to be fair, and we love old Tim Pope, man. We've seen him race in a few leagues. Glad to see him here in the Arca Series at NTRL. Tom Barish in that 55 is right now being scored your leader, up 23 spots till he pits. If he pits here, he still has not come down. He last pitted a lap 125, so he's a little bit out of cycle. So he'll lead a couple of laps out here. Hey, I feel your pain there, buddy. I know that feeling
nothing
well.
wrong with that. It's a Friday night. You should have that kind of Mexican
That's
food
right,
and
man.
A couple of beers. You know, we live on.
I had some homemade chili with some Frito pie, you know, sharp cheddar cheese and some Fritos with some homemade chili on top.
You put any jalapenos on it or onions on top or anything special?
No, I didn't bother with that today. I mean, that would be really good.
Yeah, I mean it can be. It just depends on the mood, how cold it is
Yeah.
outside, and all that.
It was cool today. It wasn't cold. It wasn't really chilly or anything. It was just kind of cool.
Yeah,
It's that time of year where it's kind of in the middle and
it'd be like
bugs are still out, but I mean it's pleasant out there.
30 one morning, and the next day it's 90.
80, yeah, 85, back down to 40.
Yeah, that's
Kind of
lifetime.
plays with your sinuses and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean tough
man.
it out. Tough it out.
Oh yeah, I've had drainage in the mornings, but once you get around and
Just
get the
don't
coffee in you, it kind of clears itself out.
Yeah, just don't use the Navage. You know, we do not recommend it down there in Louisiana.
My wife just bought one. She uses one.
What are you making sure she's using that clean water? You
Yeah.
got to use the clean water.
Distilled water, yeah.
Okay.
Distilled some
no.
water for her yesterday. Refilled her jugs.
Oh, here we go. A lot of people coming around the pace car. Looks like they're getting put to
Some wave arounds, huh?
the wave route, or are they just being placed in the back of the field? I don't really know. I don't know.
Well, some lights are out on that Ford Mustang pace car. Side by side, they're coming back around 2 by 2 as we get this restart underway. It might be our last one here, Adam. We got 169
Yeah, we're gonna see.
laps complete when they take the green flag once again.
I think we're gonna see one more. Just one more caution. I think we're gonna see it. But I'm not Nostradamus or anything.
The 55 of Tom Barish, your control car, as the pace car dips back down into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. The one not wasting any time. He looks like he anticipated the start there a little bit with his teammate there in front of him, but had to back out of it. Tom Barish, even on those older tires, great restart for the 55. But here comes Mike Adamson in the 751 with Josh Bittner and that TrackDogsRacing.com number 84 right behind him. And that high line is working much better, and those brand new tires are working much better as those two cars make it way out. For the 55 is really dropping like a stone now, but the one...
Damn.
Go ahead, what you got?
97 sideswiped to 88. 88 is just getting in a lot of tangles. Luckily, they both saved it. I don't know how the hell they did. And you might not get to see it since our leader has went to space. He'll be back. Sometimes he hits the button and he does some like Elon Musk stuff. He'll be back in a short break. But look, everything's kind of working itself out. 30 laps to go, roughly.
Seeing a battle back here between Vincent Short, I'll be able to bring it to you guys, and the 13 machine of Chris Klein. Now Tim Pope trying to get in the mix here, down below the 60. Three wide, here we go, the 13. Timothy Pope is around in the tri-oval. We're going to stay green here as he was off the racing surface. Oh, he was pushing it so hard, but he was 3 wide on the bottom. And the 728 went around, but no caution here as we go back to the lead here. 751, Mike Adamson continuing to lead this race right now with the 84 Bittner behind. Here comes Derek Welch trying to challenge the 84 just a little bit. I think he's trying to kind of feel him out here and see what he can get done. He didn't feel comfortable sticking his nose in there just yet. I think he's just letting the 84 know, hey man, I'm here. I'm waiting for you to make a mistake. Yeah. 00 Joe Bennett and the 15 of Vince Short continue to battle behind them.
Well, Dakota says hunting season's coming real quick. Well, hell, it's already been going on. I've been out there. You got to get out in the woods. Well, my bird hunting, but the deer hunting's been going on for a couple of weeks.
Y'all in the bow season yet?
Archery season, yes, sir.
Yeah.
But the weather just hadn't been right. We had a good, cool front. And then we're just going to have to wait a little bit.
Need another cold snap to get them moving, I think.
They're going to get in that wet soon. I can feel it down
here. Here we go. Mike Adamson continuing to lead the race. 84 of Josh Bittner right behind. Keeping the pressure on. And the one of Derek Welch. A couple of car links between himself and the 84. Just continuing to kind of experiment. Ride around, kind of stick his nose in here. Here comes 84 of Josh Bittner, completing the pass on the 751, but the 751 is going to get an opportunity to cross him over here, and he will get his nose inside the left rear quarter panel of Bittner as they go side by side back into turn 1 once again. Let's see where Derek Welch goes, and he'll go with the 84.
Yeah.
So Derek Welch is going to make this pass, and he'll be your second place driver coming out of the turns here.
Yeah, 84 Bittner really enjoying that outside lane all night long, even with all those bumps that you can see him jump in that car off of here with 21 laps to go. But that's not the only battle going on here at the track right now. We got the 15 and the 60. Brian Neff and Vince Short side by side here. 60 almost getting up into the wall, able to just keep it off of it as the 15 tries to make that move here on that bottom line. The 13 of Chris Klein, who's been having a great night here himself. Oh, he gets up in there and scrapes the outside wall a little bit. He was looking to maybe try to follow the 15 around the 60 here. Not quite able to do so. We also got Dave Hoytsma in the 79 trying to get around that 62 of Rich Blake right now as well.
Some kind of racing for position going on all over the track. This has been a great race, man. I've enjoyed calling this one with you guys.
Oh yeah, they're getting after it tonight.
But as they come down the stretch here, we always talk about it, Adam and Alan. Aggression ramping up towards the end. The desperation starting to come out. Maybe that urge to use the old chrome horn on somebody just to get them out of the way. You can't really bump in these cars because of the way they're shaped. But you can definitely lift somebody's rear tires off the ground and get them out of your way.
Ooh, as the 60 again up into the outside wall, letting the 5 a lap down, however, so not losing a position there. But he does lose a position to the 62 of Rich Blake, who's now got the 79 of Dave Hoitzman now hunting down that 60 machine, pushing for all it's worth here and getting up into that outside wall.
Yeah. Couldn't predict this thing if I had half a brain. There's so much action going on, especially up in the top 5. It's hard to figure out who's going to win this thing at this point.
Yeah, you got the double O Joe machine trying to hold off the 15 of Vince Short right now, trying to stay up inside this top 5 here in 4th right now, but he's got a line of traffic there right behind him. You got Chris Klein as well, just hanging off that back end of it, as the 13 as well as the 62 is a good ways back right now, but good battle going on here as Josh Bittner continues to lead up at the front with 15 laps to go. Man, and I wish I could say that he's running that kind of like middle to high line to save the tires and whatnot, but I think that's just the line he's been running all night, and I think that's really just the quickest line for these cars in general.
That's where he's comfortable, and if you really think about it, it requires the least amount of input into the steering wheel. He's putting a certain amount of turn into it, and he's just letting the car kind of go where it needs to go. That's why he's getting that slide up off the turns.
Yeah, Welch is really pushing the envelope here as we try to finish this thing out. I'm going to Yahtzee before this mayhem ends.
And 13 laps left.
Ike Adamson continues to put pressure on the back of the 1 here. We got a lap car coming up. That's the 88 of Brought in that black Budweiser. We've seen he's been off pace a lot of this race. Looks like he's going to stay low and out of the way here. Oh, as he slides up, kind of crowds the 84 just a little bit. That was close.
That it was. All those drivers keeping their wits about them, though. That could have been absolutely treacherous there for these leaders, but able to make their way on through turns 3 and 4 just fine. Coming across the line here, 11 laps now remain. Josh Bittner, Welch, and Adamson, your current podium spots. You still got Double O Joe. They're battling with that 88 as traffic now as well. He's got Vince Short, Chris Klein up there as well. 79 of Hoitzma goes side by side with the 60 of Brian Neff here again, trying to pick up every single spot that they can.
Adamson did scrape the wall on that last lap, so he lost a couple of car lengths to the 1 machine and the 84.
Oh,
here.
Double O Joe getting turned around by the 15. Little bit of contact there. Still green flag, though.
Still green flag racing here. Here comes the 1 of Derek Welch on the outside of the 84 of Bittner. We've seen some passes on the outside work, but you really have to pinch that inside car low in the turns, and Welch is giving him lots of room. Not sure if he's going to be... Yep, he's still outside coming off the turn, going down the back stretch. Wow, what a battle here for the lead.
Beating and banging side by side, the 84 and the 1. The 84 gets a little loose, sneaks up the track, ends up sliding in right behind that 1 of Derek Welch. She's going to now try to regroup here with the 751, giving him some challenge there from behind as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. Josh Bittner, maybe one tiny mistake drifting down the track just a half a lane too far, allowing that 1 to get his bumper up there.
So Welch is liking what he's seeing in his rearview mirror right now, and that's Adamson trying to battle the 84 for position. If he can get those guys side by side fighting, he can just run away these last 6 laps and win this thing.
As 62 isn't done battling, though. He gets around the 00 Joe Bennett machine right here. This is a battle for a top 6 spot here behind these leaders as the laps continue to dwindle and dwindle away. This is your last chance for you to move up any spots here tonight, as Derek Welch trying as hard as he can with whatever he's got left saved up in those tires here to run away from that 84 and the 751, as here comes the 751 up the inside of Josh Bittner.
Yeah, he's going to clear the 84. Go ahead there, Adam.
No, I just said he took that quick. I didn't see that one coming. But look, Bittner's got a run on him right now.
Bit of crossover move here. Once again, the side-by-side's doing nothing but help the race leader right now, Derek Welch, in that #1 Numb Thumbs gaming machine. Continue to put car links on these guys and put gap behind them. He can afford to kind of work the gap now, can he? He doesn't have to run away with it. He just has to keep them guys, 7/10 behind him.
Looks like he made a little bit of mistake right there. Lost a little bit of time. But yeah, he should try to race the track and not look in his rear view at this point.
Well, and all these guys on the same set of tires. Oh, the one got in the marbles there.
Sure did.
He's losing some ground to the 751 of Adamson.
Yeah, with 3 laps to go, each and every single one of these mistakes is starting to really chew away at it, as that 751 now has that one locked in his sights here for the final couple of laps. Will we see a green-white checker to stack these guys back on up? Who knows? 2 laps now remain. 751 securely right there on that back bumper of Derek Welch as they head on down into turns 1 and 2. Lap traffic car up against the wall. That's going to affect them a little bit here, as they didn't get the extension out of the corner that they wanted to. Coming down through 3 and 4. So down and across the line here. It's almost going to be side by side. White flag wave. So here it is. The final lap here at Iowa amongst the corn. Side by side they go down into 1 and 2. 751 trying to extend out as much as he can. Pick up as much of a run as he can, as they're still side by side as they come down through turns 3 and 4. 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down across the line. Not enough. It's gonna be the 751 picking up the win with the one followed by the 84.
What a finish. What a last lap we saw there, man.
Oh, that was a really, really good race. Wow. Got a little love tap at the end from Welch on Adamson.
And there's more love taps going on as teammates there celebrating. The Pope took Adamson for another little ride there, a little spin. Limitless teammates in another league as well, so guys out there enjoying it, having fun. I love it. What a great finish, great podium we got to interview here tonight. Track Dogs Racing, great finish out there for those guys. So they ought to be proud of the work they did. But NTG picks up the win tonight with Derek Welch.
Well, he didn't win.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got that backwards.
He sure did.
NTG had a great finish. Track Dogs Racing with the win. Sorry about that. I switched them up. I'm just making sure y'all are awake.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Track Dogs Racing here as Josh Bittner gets his 84 machine down into pit lane and jumps up into this podium chat here. So let's go ahead and talk with the Mr. TrackDogsRacing.com himself. A great race there, Josh. Just not quite enough to stick it in there at the end. You were looking like one of those strong contenders from the get-go, losing a little bit of time there in the middle of the race due to some pit strategy, but either way, working out here in the end to pick up a third.
Yeah, absolutely. Is a all over type of race, but I would honestly say that's the most fun racing I've had in a long time. Just the amount of people we had in the lead tonight, all over, and different strategies. I wish it could have gone green flag a little bit more. Maybe some of that long run strategy could have come into play, but no. Nonetheless, it was a great battle to watch at the end, and I got bumped into, I think, by a lapped car, like 10 laps to go, and that threw me off. But it was fun to watch the battle for the win from afar, I guess.
Well, you definitely had a strong race, all race tonight. We really enjoy watching you run well with that trackdogsracing.com. I'm wearing one of y'all's shirts right now, as a matter of fact, NTRL Numb Thumbs Racing League shirt. So your store out there, man, is doing great. Y'all have got some high quality products and stuff. So, but we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about that restart. The first restart we had of the night with you and the 15 of short on the outside. What happened there, and how did you see it?
I don't know what happened. I'm actually looking that up right now because I'm still trying to make sense of it. I think we just kind of came together, and I don't know what we. I guess he wanted to drive close to me, like, whatever. But I just thought at that moment, lap one in the grand scheme of things, they got 199 more to go, and I think that reflected on the end result tonight.
Well, I did enjoy how we had different groups of guys up front all night, little battles all over the place. Great job up here once again talking to us. Who do you like to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank Simon, Tim, Mike. Congrats to Mike. Fun racing with them as always tonight. Had different strategies working out, but glad that two of the three of us could, or two of the three of the podium spots could be taken up. Like to thank Peyton for, I don't know if she was watching the broadcast, but I know she always likes watching me. And yeah, got some big news with Track Dogs Racing coming up. New site in the works. Going to have more merch. Going to have some even better stuff that I'm really, really excited about. And I had put out a poll the last couple of days to gauge interest from people in the communities that we partner with, and got some absolutely great feedback that we're going to be able to give the people what they want, I guess, So, yeah, no, and also props to you guys and Derek also, putting on a great race and great broadcast, as always.
Well, thank you, buddy, and we always appreciate it anytime we get to talk to you here tonight. And tonight, it's for a third-place podium finish for that 84 machine, and can't wait to look forward to watching you here in the next race coming up. And man, it's you've had a pretty good string of luck here the last few weeks.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing up here talking to you guys. It was like a 3-month hiatus. Now I'm back.
Well, it's always good to have you, man, and good luck here coming up, because I believe you race on Sunday, so we will see you then, and look forward to seeing that car in action again.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
As we move up this leaderboard, talking to tonight's second place finisher, and man, can't call this one bogus because, Derek, you had to work for that second place finish here tonight, just losing it there at the end. Good hard racing with that 751 of Mike Adamson, and I got to give you credit for a heck of a drive out here tonight. It's definitely not an easy track here at Iowa, but that's the other thing we got to congratulate you on, is picking a great replacement track for Langley as picking Iowa.
I'd much rather had a Langley, but I love this track as well. I love these top tracks. Coming loose out of the corner, just rotating your car out of the corners. I mean, I love it. That was a great race at the end right there, and props to Adamson. He saved the stuff better than I did right there. I was fighting with Bittner a little too hard right there, and I seen them side by side behind me, so I even pressed a little harder. I was hoping Bittner would stay beside him a little bit longer than he did, but he didn't, and I came out of 4 right there and scrubbed the wall a little bit. If I wouldn't have scrubbed the wall, it might have been a little bit closer. I don't know. I probably couldn't hold him off, but man, great. That was awesome. The entire race was fun.
Well, we talked about your prowess at these types of tracks where you really enjoy the tire wear and the technical racing out there, as opposed to like a super speedway race or something like that. But kind of the same kind of deal almost next week at Kansas. Y'all are going to do 130 laps out there at Kansas. How do you feel about that track, and what are you looking forward to?
Oh, well, I like Kansas as well. It's a tire saving track. Pretty much all of your mile and a halves are tire burners. This track right here, Richmond, it really wasn't much of a tire. After a good run, my tires were still 85%. So, that last run, I know I just burned the crap out of them. But I'm looking forward to Kansas. Any track except a super speedway.
Well, you kind of proved it tonight. We're on the Midwest tour. We're going from Iowa to Kansas. Sounds like we'll have to find something to do down in Kansas, Iowa. We did all we could do here in that cornfield, but really,
the prairie.
Well, the wheat in Kansas, yeah. The awesome, clean racing there at the end with you and Adamson. I thought that was kind of a lot of good sportsmanship, really good battle. I mean, the best car won.
Oh yeah.
And but you hung in there. Really cool battles all throughout the night. Different leaders. This was a real interesting one. You guys put on a good show, so congratulations. And who'd you like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, these guys in this league, all the leagues here at NTRL, they're extremely talented racers, and props out to these guys, man. They're a shout out to all these drivers. They're just world class, and there was a couple wrecks out there that probably could have got some emotions high, but they all handled it well and apologized, and a bunch of classy guys out here, and I'm blessed to have a league like this and not have a lead full of drama and bickering, and y'all have seen them, but I'm extremely blessed, and shout out to None Thumbs Gaming, NTR, my teammates, love them to death, our sponsors, and as y'all know, we had a DP Graphics. He's shout out to him always. He's still a big supporter of us, and we're always going to be a part of DP, but he's going through a lot of IRL stuff right now. So anybody out there, keep prayers up for him. He's going through an extremely tough time with a lot of stuff, and but we're glad to bring JP Designs up as a title sponsor for our leads, and he's gonna hold that title very well. I think, keeping his cards nice and pretty out there.
Yeah, that indeed. Well, again, congratulations on the second place finish here tonight, Derek. We look forward to seeing you on later on this weekend, and can't wait to watch you guys out there in action once again.
And y'all look pretty behind those mics with those NTRL shirts, though.
Yeah, thanks for sending them to us, man. TrackDogsRacing.com. They got some pretty cool merch out there. Good, comfortable shirts too. They use the good quality Hanes shirts for these. So, yeah, man, it might look pretty, but it's pretty comfortable too.
I appreciate y'all.
As we move up the leaderboard, we get to talk to a guy. Mate, it's been so long since we got to talk to this guy. It's been a hot minute. We get to talk to the 751 of Mr. Mike Adamson, picking up the win here tonight on one of those last lap passes. Mike, congratulations, up 15 on the day to get this win here at this absolutely brutal race at Iowa.
Yeah, thank you. It was definitely a hard-fought one. Yeah, toward the end there, I just kind of let them run a little bit, and then just hopefully they burn their stuff up enough, and then I've just set sights on Derek and go run him down.
We did a damn fine job out there. I want to say thank you to you, Mike, for always interacting with the Facebook page and stuff like that. We sure appreciate it. We're getting some more followers out there, and it's guys like you that kind of help us out there and putting it out there and interacting with us. We sure appreciate it. Well, we got Kansas coming up next week in this series. There's some similarities, but it's kind of sort of like this track, but really not. I mean, this track is so short. Kansas is one of your, kind of your very, very round mile and a halves. What are you looking forward to next week?
Well, I think it'll play a lot out like Iowa did, except for the fact it'll be a lot smoother. Not quite as many bumps going off into one, and you just have to really find that line like I did here tonight. I was trying to run somewhat where Derek was, but trying to find another line where, he wasn't, and try to find a spot where I could pick up speed.
Well, awesome job tonight. How was it those last 2 laps? I mean, what was it like behind that wheel? I mean, did you know you were going to catch him, or did you just see the moment and take advantage?
I had a feeling I'd catch him, but I just kind of seized the moment and just took advantage of it. You know what I mean? I knew he burned his stuff up a little bit, so I was just trying to be patient at the end as well. But man, that was definitely a hard fought win.
Yeah, great job. Who you want to shout out to here on this victory here at Iowa?
All the boys at Track Dog Racing. Once again, as always, thank my wife for allowing me to do this. Without her patience and allowing me to spend my time here sitting in the seat, it's
Smart
makes it
man.
more possible.
Awesome, Mike. Well, we appreciate it, brother. And anytime you pick up a win, it's always a good night. Go and celebrate this one, and we'll see you again on Sunday night, and we can't wait to see you back in action.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you guys again for all you do. Like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't put our names out there.
And with that closes the racing here from Iowa on down. And boys, as always, we have another winner here at Iowa. This race has produced nothing but good, solid racing ever since we started broadcasting.
Yeah, and the finish was worth the wait. I mean, what a great battle there between Adamson and Welch and Bittner hanging in there just to make it close. And yeah, it was great. And Chris Klein, man, golly, what a race for him. What a finish for him. Up 17 spots, your hard charger tonight, the 13, and that Wonder Bread machine. One of your unsung heroes tonight. Chris Klein had a hell of a race as well.
Yeah, Tom Bears had a good race. I think the Midwest put on a show here tonight in Iowa. Richard Gray did a great job down there drinking beer in the pits after his 10 laps he put in. So
Getting a loose meat sandwich.
Yeah, he got a loose meat sandwich and a couple of cold ones. So thanks to the 110.
As we take a look here at tonight's finishing order, well, we wind things down. As the 751 up 15 spots, Mike Adamson picks up the big race win here tonight. Derek Welsh, just wishing this race was maybe a couple laps shorter here, finishing in second, but a good solid race there from him. Josh Bittner up at the front at the beginning, fought on back due to some pit strategy and whatnots here, finishes solidly in third, with Chris Klein there up 17 spots, your hard charger of the day, finishing in fourth. Great run there from Chris. Vince Short in the 15 looked like he was going to be a strong contender here tonight as well, just running into a few too many issues there for him, but a solid fifth place finish. Got the 62 of Rich Blake having a solid night as well, finishing in sixth. Double O Joe had his mini crew chief sitting behind him there, but she bailed out, and that's probably why he came in seventh here tonight. But still a solid run for Double O. You got the 60 of Brian Neff, man. He was one of those guys. He wasn't scared to put his nose in there and start battling people. We saw a great show from him here tonight, finishing in eighth. We also have the 79 of Dave Hoitzma. He was one of those guys. Didn't really hear too much about him battling along, but he kind of did what he had to do, finishing in this top 10, finishing in ninth, with the 728 of Timothy Pope being able to walk away here with that final top 10 spot.
Yeah, that last, that final spin that Pope had, he stayed on the lead lap. He still finished 13 and a half seconds behind the leader. So, and that's after spinning out, with like one to go. So, great job by Tim. Cole Larson, he didn't get a lot of mentions tonight in the broadcast, but the 19, he quietly worked his way up the leaderboard there, and from 19th to 11th. So great job, great race there by Cole. Let's see, Tom Barrish in the 55, your last car on the lead lap, up 12 spots to finish in 12th. James Bowden in the 53 will finish one lap down all by himself there in 13th place. Steve Singer in the 6th. Saw him up front so much tonight. He'll actually finish 2 laps down in 14th. 15th will be Toby Blakesley in the 97. The 5 of Nicholas Coate will finish in 16th. He dropped 10 spots. He'll be 3 laps down. The 99 of John Ross. Man, him and that wall were tangling all night tonight. He'll finish in 17th. 18th will be the 72 of Carson Conway. The 43 of Cody Bickler, 4 laps down, will finish in 19th. And rounding out your top 20, the 88 of Alex Brott. He had a heck of a night tonight, just trying to stay straight out there in that black Budweiser machine. But he didn't quit. You know, he stayed out there, probably picked up a couple of attrition positions because of it. But yeah, finished right where he started in 20th.
Yeah, 23, Mark Collins, rough night, ended up 21st. Somebody who did quit, the 110, Richard Gray, went down to drink beer in the pits down there, 22nd. 020, Simon Sregis, the Cobra, had a rough night there in 23rd. Thank you, Zeth Hawley, for admin in this race, and I don't know if Russell Endicott put any laps in, but
he wasn't able to get any practice or qualifying times in, and he didn't grid a car. So Russ was having some problems with the Discord and the website or something. I'm not sure. Hopefully he'll be back next week.
Well, that rounds it out there, Brown.
It does, and as always, we thank you guys for tuning in and watching. As always, you guys are the reason why we do this, having fun and hanging out with all y'all. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, as we are live 5 nights a week. As long as there's racing happening on those 5 nights, as we had a couple races off this past week. But either way, you don't want to miss a single second of this racing action that we can bring to you here, as these guys do an excellent job week in and week out. So be sure to do that. And if you enjoy the racing action and our commentary, please hit that thumbs up button so we can share this one even more with the rest of the world and continue to gain race fans over here at AAA Broadcasting. We also got to thank the great sponsors of JP Designs and 3D Printing, doing a whole bunch of work picking up where DEP Graphics left off here as the main title sponsor. So please be sure to get in contact with them for iRacing paints or button boxes or 3D printing stuff. They do an absolutely great job over there, as well as Davidson Builders up in that northern New Jersey area. Be sure to get in contact with them, as they do some of the best home remodel, refinishing, addition work that you can possibly do up there, and give them some business, as they've jumped on board all season long. We also have Admin Box, the premier button box solution here for the race admins, where at the push of a button they can throw black flags, do wave arounds, have yellows fly on out there, do whatever they need to do while still racing, all at just a single touch of a button. So go ahead and order your admin box here today, as well as big thank yous to Track Bar Media jumping on board here this season. Go check them out for their photography and editing of all racecraft, whether it's real or in sim. They do an absolutely fantastic job. Same thing with Sim Gear Central. Go get your button box that has all the flips, dials, and knobs that you can possibly imagine, all attached to one singular box right there on your desk or rig. So be sure to go and order yours here today and get 10% off if you mention NTRL at checkout. So definitely go and do that, as well as TrackDogsRacing.com, the proud merchandise supplier here for Numb Thumbs Racing League, and of course across a bunch of other leagues that we do here. So be sure to go and get your racing merchandise done by them here as soon as possible because it's very comfortable shirts, as we've been saying. But they also got sweatshirts, tumblers, mugs, hats, whatever have you. So be sure to go ahead and order from trekdogsracing.com, as well as Country Through the Ages, your proud instant replay sponsor here at the None Thumbs Racing Arca League. Doing some great job taking you down through the history of country music. Absolutely fantastic little kind of albumographies and artistographies, as you will, through country music. So go ahead and check them on out. Well, on that note, that concludes everything here tonight for us here tonight. We look forward to seeing you all once again on Sunday in those Xfinity cars doing some plate track racing at iRacing Super Speedway. That one's going to be one you do not want to miss. So until then, I am Alan Brown for Adam Turner and Alan English. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.